Mack Weldon underwear and t-shirts are better than whatever you're wearing right now. Mack Weldon believes in smart design, premium fabrics, and simple shopping. All right, I just sent my father 6 pairs of socks and underwear, and it was fast and cheap. And now my father loves Mack Weldon underwear, t-shirts, and socks. All their products are naturally antimicrobial, which means they eliminate odor, which is very important to any man, any woman. They want you to be comfortable, so if you do not like your first pair of underwear, you don't like your first pair of socks, you can keep it and they will refund you everything, no questions asked. That is a guarantee, and Mack Weldon guarantees their product. Not only does Mack Weldon's underwear, socks, and shirts look good, they perform well. It's good for working out, going to work, going on dates, or just everyday life. Go to MackWeldon.com and get 20% off using the promo code Rapaport. That's MackWeldon.com and get 20% off using the promo code Rapaport. Go to MackWeldon.com. Mack Weldon underwear, t-shirts, and socks are better than whatever you're wearing right now. This is the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. My name is Michael Rapaport. Some people call me the Gringo Mandingo. Some people call me White Mike. Some people still in Brownsville, Brooklyn, they still call me Bird. It's the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. What can I say? It's the only non-fact-checking podcast out there. This is Fantasy Football Follies, but we're going to get into LeBron James and trying to shit on my man Phil Jackson and trying to be a social opportunist. Okay? We're going to get into that right now. If you may or may not know that I don't have the exact quote because, as you know, we don't fact check. But the Phil Jackson described. He didn't describe. He was talking about basically how in Miami, and it's a known thing. Anybody around the NBA will tell you. Anybody around the insiders, and I'm around the insiders. They'll tell you LeBron James and his friends, his crew, his clique, his entourage, his posse. I don't use that word. It's fucking dated. Which brings me to Phil Jackson, use of the word posse. They wanted free reign in Miami. Now, obviously, I can't tell you exactly why LeBron James went to Cleveland, but obviously he wanted to leave. He felt like his time was up in Miami. I know that his wife was pushing, to go to Cleveland. They're both from Cleveland. Shout out, respect, all respect. To that, his family and all that stuff. Family and children are off limits most of the time. But while he was in Miami, towards the end of their tenure, his crew, his clique, his posse, his entourage, his hanger-oners, his friends, everybody has them. They wanted free reign in Miami. And I know for sure, okay, again, nobody's talking about this on the sports news. Pat Riley wasn't having that shit. Pat Riley is old school. Pat Riley's in charge. And Pat Riley's like, I'm in charge. You're the player. I'm in charge. Your friends, your crew, your clique, your posse. We're not having that. So basically, Phil Jackson talked about that, and he used the word posse to describe LeBron James' friends, who have taken a great advantage, as they should, of being LeBron's friend, growing up with him, and formed businesses and created businesses and created other jobs for other friends under the veil of LeBron James. Let's just call it LeBron James Entertainment. That's not probably what he says, but everything is based on LeBron James. So his friends have taken the opportunity and ran with it and done a very good job, from what I gather, to cause good businesses, to form good businesses. They're an agency. They have a little deal at Warner Brothers, but it's all LeBron James based. If LeBron James said, I want to shut down the businesses, his friends, they would be like, and this is not a shout to my lifelong friend Dame Dash, but there was other people at Rockefeller when the Dame Dash Jay-Z breakup happened, and again, Dame Dash is a lifelong friend. This is a shout at him, but there's other people that worked under Dame that after the business stopped, they don't exist without Dame Dash, without Rockefeller, which Dame Dash formed. Again, making sure I'm not clarify, because Dame is a lifelong friend, but they were non-existent. And if LeBron James said, you know what, I'm going to spend the rest of my life in Tahiti, on some Marlon Brando shit, and we're shutting down all the businesses, rest assured, there'd be no more Friends, Click, Crew, Posse popping off in the world because they're all riding on the coattails, and they've taken great opportunity to, do businesses and form their own names, and this guy Maverick Carter and blah, 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 blah. But this isn't about that. LeBron James said that he felt insulted. LeBron James and his partner and friend, lifelong friend, Maverick Carter, who 99.9% of the people couldn't pick out of a lineup. You just know that he's LeBron James' friend, Click, Crew, Posse, which in the 90s was the word. That was the word. Before Crew, it was Posse. That was the hip-hop word. My Posse's on Broadway. I found it to be a terrible but catchy song. I don't know where Sir Mix-a-Lot is at right now, but I would love for him to chime in on Phil Jackson's use of the word posse. Shout out to Sir Mix-a-Lot. I just didn't think it was a great song. It's catchy. I just didn't like it. I'm judgmental when it comes to my hip-hop. But I would love to somebody pull up like 25 times the word posse was used in hip-hop. So at one time, that word posse wasn't offensive. It was just what people would claim. This is my posse, this is my crew. The TV show Entourage. And now Phil Jackson is being called a racist and the use of racist words. And, he wouldn't have done it if it was and LeBron didn't say white people because that's the politician that LeBron is in his little press conference. Matter of fact, Miles Jordan, pull the fucking clip.
To use that label, and if you go and read the definition of what the word posse is, it's not what I've built over my career. It's not what I stand for. It's not what my family stands for. And I believe the only reason he used that word is to see young African Americans trying to make a difference.
So now LeBron James has no respect for Phil Jackson. He doesn't like him. He's offended by it. And LeBron James has been talking shit about Phil Jackson for a while. He talked shit about Phil Jackson during the parades at JR. They should have never traded him. I think pretty sure he name-checked LeBron James and all this is. And in the last few months, LeBron James has sort of been the focal point, good and bad, in sort of making commentary on social injustices. Obviously at the ESPYs, him, Carmelo, CP3, and D-Wade, they spoke up on Black Lives Matter, and everybody was happy and impressed by that. And then opening day of NBA preseason, he didn't say Black Lives Matter. He said something else. And then because he didn't say Black Lives Matter, he said all lives matter. Then he was indemnified. And everybody was like, fuck LeBron, fuck LeBron. And now you're back again, taking advantage of an opportunity to put yourself as a social leader. I think, LeBron James, you're a social opportunist, okay? God bless your friends, your crew, your clique, your posse for taking fantastic advantage of all your success, okay? God bless them for doing good things. I know you guys build up Cleveland and do all this stuff, but don't get it twisted, my man, and your crew. Without LeBron James, there ain't no fucking businesses. When LeBron James wanted to snap his finger like Fonzie and shut the businesses down, you guys have nothing, okay? And the people that you're doing businesses, they do resent you because they know that the only reason why they're talking to you and having to kiss your ass is because your best friend is LeBron James. To try to say that Phil Jackson, who's been protesting on roofs since the 60s, use of the word posse makes him a racist. This is the fucking society that we're living in today, where you could say something and then be dissected top to bottom the next day on Twitter, all on the sports programs, ESPN, Fox, this one, that one. Is he racist? Is he? If Phil Jackson had said LeBron and his little clique, people would have been like, ooh, burn, ooh, ethered him. But he said posse. Phil Jackson doesn't know what the fucking slang is. He doesn't know he used the word posse because in the 90s, when he was with Jordan and all them, who didn't have a fucking posse, he had a little thing, but they were grown-ass men. He didn't come into the league with 19 hanger-oners because at the time, they're hanger-oners, and you usually don't do anything, and they're usually the guys, for a lot of times, that make players go broke. Shout out to Vin Baker. Shout out to all the other players who've gone broke for hanging out with too big of a posse. That fucking term is a hip-hop term. The first time I heard the word posse was in his, I think it was my Posse's on Broadway. Posse thick, Rex in Effect used to use. There's so many uses of this word, and I think Phil Jackson, me personally, my instinct is that Phil Jackson was trying to use a word that is associated and that young people at one time used, calling their crew, their clique, their entourage, their hanger-oners, my posse. Now all of a sudden, because the word is dated, LeBron wants to take this opportunity and his man wants to take this opportunity to try to vilify Phil Jackson. Wigger, please. You act crazy, you do some dumb shit, you get the wigger, please.
Yes. Hey, yo, we keeping our eyes open for them people wildin' out. Wigger, please, is what we scream and shout. You better act right before we put your shit on blast. Do yourself a favor, try to have a little class. Cause Mike Rapaport ain't having it. So save yourself from the embarrassment. Think before you talk or just keep your mouth shut. Cause this is I Am Rapaport and we don't give a what. So if you lose your cool,
you get wigger, please.
If you acting a fool,
you get a wigger, please.
If you wildin' like an idiot,
wigger, please.
If you acting all ignorant,
you get a wigger, please.
If you don't listen to this new shit,
you get a wigger, please.
And if you do something stupid,
you get wigger, please. What the fuck is wrong with you? Wigger, please. Yo, LeBron James, man, there's so much shit going on in the world. You didn't get Hillary elected. You haven't spoken out since then, and now you want to, out of all the shit going on in the world, all the stuff going on in politics, you want to take a stand against Phil Jackson. You don't respect him. You take because Phil Jackson is not going to say anything. Phil Jackson probably doesn't even, I guarantee you Phil Jackson has no idea this is going on. And who's going to stand up for Phil Jackson? The Latvian gangbanger? The Latvian Mamba, Kristaps Porzingis, he's not going to stand up for him. Fucking Kusamungus down there, Melo's not going to stand up for him. So now he's going to be made out to look like a bad guy. But rest assured, I'm sure Shaq is going to chime in on it and straighten this shit out. I just feel like this has more to do with LeBron James being a social opportunist and his people being socially opportunistic and oversensitivity. I get it. You can't, as a white dude, a Jewish dude, no matter how down you think you are, think I am, all that shit, you can't say what's offensive, what's not offensive. I get that. I respect that. But my instinct is that the use of the word was not to be in any sort of derogatory, specific racial connotation. I think he just looks at these guys as hanger-oners. And at one point, trust me, if Maverick Carter and the other dude who people say they respect and all that shit, I guarantee you, in the beginning, when LeBron came into the league, the crew, the clique, the entourage was a lot bigger. And they probably just weaned out the weak at this point. So now they're like, we're businessmen. Guys, you're businessmen, but everything runs through LeBron James. Get off my man Phil Jackson's dick. Just because you don't got the rings, don't hate on Phil Jackson.